Gets purple shorts, so I gotta get floral. First things first. It feels good, you know, to right the ship, take a chance, fight a guy outside of the top 10 when, you know, I don't even know how many, but my last opponents have been former world champions, huge main events, huge fights, and now you just got this young guy in his 20s who finished his last 5 opponents representing France, got a lot of momentum behind him and a country behind him, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see if I still got it to fight these young guys, and it feels good, man. You know, it feels good to win. It was a long training camp. It was stressful, had a lot on my back, and it feels good to win.
I know you said you were prepared for this to be a battle and knew it would be. It seemed like it was early on. I guess, you know, how difficult were the opening round, and was it different than you expected it would be?
No, I thought he was going to want to grapple. I really did. I was surprised at his punching power. In the moment in there, I didn't feel like he was a big puncher. He looked like a big guy, and he's finished guys on the feet. I mean, he's finished all of his wins. But I thought he was going to be a bigger puncher. When he was landing those shots, they weren't that much knockdown power behind him. But I was surprised by his strength. He was pretty strong.
Yeah. It seemed like in the second round, maybe there was a moment you thought, maybe I don't always have to jump the ghillie.
Nope, I never thought that once.
No? Because it looked like it was there. You're like, maybe we should keep it on the feet. I'm having some success with my hands.
Yeah. Another thing too, like I thought he was going to be a little bit, he was physically strong, but I thought technically, I know he comes from a judo background, I thought his hips and his grip strength was going to be better against the fence. I took myself down every time, you know. When I was on the mat, it was because I jumped guillotines. And you miss all the ones you don't jump, first of all, but I thought he was going to be a little bit tougher with the takedowns against the fence.
Yeah. Last thing for me, I mean, you're at a point in your career where you kind of call the shots. I mean, you've earned it, right? But I mean, does a title shot, does that matter to you? Is that still the goal, and is that what you would like to see next for yourself, or is it too early to make a call like that?
I mean, that's the only reason I'm fighting. When I started fighting was to be the world champion, to be the best in the world, undisputed. But we got to see. I got to get home and see what makes sense with my coaches and my wife and my management, and just see what's next. I don't know, but yeah, that's. I mean, I've done a lot in the sport. I'm not trying to, you know, brag or be boastful, but I've done a lot in the sport, and I've been fighting for a long time. This was like at my 50th, or around my, maybe more, or right under 50th mixed martial arts fight. And I've done a lot, and I've checked a lot of boxes, but there's one that's still unchecked, and that's being the world champion.
Dustin, I don't know if you heard Dana when he was up here talking about you, but he was saying these are the sort of fights that make you a fucking legend, basically, and that fighting a young and hungry guy is what is important for you. Do you agree with that? Is that why you took this fight? Because you wanted to just be like, well, I know I can compete against these guys who've been around, but this guy might be the new generation. I want to see if I can compete against him.
It was kind of a timing thing in the situation of the lightweight division. There wasn't any big names to fight. I wanted to fight, especially coming off of a loss, and nothing was big that they could put together. But this guy's on a streak and has a lot of momentum. And when they offered it to me, that's why we did it. It just there was nothing else at the time. And then I honor what I do, man. And Eddie Alvarez gave me a shot when he was a former champion, and I was an up-and-comer. And you have to do it. That's the nature of what we do.
Were any of the guillotines close?
The last one was. The high elbow was really close.
When you eventually do finish someone with that after jumping it, how excited are you going to be?
And I will. And I will.
Dustin, over here.
Yep.
Just curious, when you won the fight and then the whole place just erupted, has that ever been?
They probably bet because I was plus 200. That's why they was.
So I was curious, in your historic career, has it ever been like that, where the crowd erupted like that and you heard it and you just soaked it all in as well?
Yeah, I really felt in the moment this whole week, in the locker room, walking out, in the octagon. I really felt good. I didn't so much, you know, the adrenaline's pounding. He's getting up off the ground. I'm trying to go talk to him and let him know to keep working. And I didn't really notice it in the moment. And so, yeah.
You had said, I think just a moment ago, that like camp was like stressful. There was a lot on your back and everything. Was that something specific in camp? Was it the
No, that was just losing my last fight. Never losing 2 in a row. Fighting this young up-and-comer who's finishing everybody. Just the risk versus the reward. It was just like I had to win this one. For me, I felt like. So that was more stressful because I was putting it on myself.
I know tonight was your night, but do you think Benoît will get back up there into title contention?
I mean, he has the ability. He's proven it with all of his wins. You know, this is his first first time getting finished. His first loss in his career was to a welterweight, I think, not on a full training camp, on short notice. So, and he's still young. If he dedicates himself and picks himself back up, and obviously he has the mental fortitude to do it, he's a military veteran, so he's been through some things. If he decides to do it, I think he can. I felt it in there. He's very strong, and if he keeps evolving, getting better, he'll be right back where he was.
Forgive me if this is an ignorant question for your Louisiana, but like there is a lot of French connection in Louisiana. Was there any sort of like, how do the people there like kind of receive Benoît? Because obviously you said anything you post would just be filled with French flags, but how did the actual like?
And I understand that they're supporting their guy. MMA just got legalized not that long ago in their country, and it's a growing sport. So I understand that, but no, there's a lot of French in Acadiana where I live in Lafayette. My dad speaks fluent French. A lot of the Cajuns in Acadiana came from French Canada. We got kicked out and relocated to Louisiana.
Well, Conor McGregor actually tweeted like good fight between a couple Frenchmen and even tags the French was it president or prime minister, whatever they have over there.
Yeah? Well, he felt that right hook too.
Just one quick one over here.